What are they cutting for struts?
So good. Nancy, who's with the camera right there? Take major slider.
Lucy was chilling in the trailer. I saw that storm and like Lucy, but she was we're standing on the floor. What? Started. Make sure the lock, the plate lock's on as we get it down. Okay.
Repeating 11868 north, 1500 West Road, Manteno, to the scene with a spot.
Maybe you need water. Keep going, just keep going. All right.
I'm gonna walk with you, okay? Some light.
Good luck. Watch where you're walking, and we don't know about the wires back here, so just be careful.
Is there power to your house or is it cut off?
It was out when we came upstairs.
Oh, she's still raring to go.
Whoop, you're all right.
How old is that person?
She's young. She's like 3, I think.
up, come up. They got it. What's up? Oh. Come on, Horsey. Yay! Alright.
Where you headed, Lana? Should we get her a shot of Banamine? Yeah. Is she
Great job, everybody.
She
She
sings.
just was really traumatized.
Yeah.
you did.
And she's like 5 cc's base. They did it. You know what? I give her a little text.
Let her eat. She deserves it.
Already.
I can't believe she was laying in there trying to eat. Falling in. There. I was telling you not to go in.
Nice job, everybody.
I don't know. They just got the last one out.
Beth called me. John, I couldn't even understand, so I threw on boots. And then as I was running out the door, my mom's like, "Oh, you need a jacket." I'm like, "Just throw me a sweatshirt."
spell your first and last name for me? Just talk really loud.
ALANNASMITH, Elena Smith.
Okay, what's your address here, Elena?
11868 North 1500 West Road, Manteno.
You had a really big storm come through, possibly a tornado, knocked on your barn. Horses were trapped. Fire department came out, did an incredible job, saved many horses.
They were wonderful.
Tell me about this experience, what you've been through tonight.
It's been a nightmare. We were out on the porch, we were watching a funnel cloud form over to the south, and didn't even hear the other one coming, and it hit the side of the house, and we turned and ran for the basement, and we could hear a lot of commotion going on outside, but there was nothing that we could do. We just waited the storm out, and when we came upstairs, I looked around the house, and it was fine inside, and looked outside, and the barn was just flat. And
what was your reaction? Your house, I took a look around it with a light, and it's almost intact. A few windows are taken out.
Right.
And the image, I mean, they're only about 150 feet apart.
Right.
How is that? I mean, is it just a miracle that happened?
All I can say is it has to be a miracle, because we were in the house, and I guess somebody was trying to save us, but wow, that barn has stood for over 100 years, and I just can't believe that it took this. It didn't even seem like it was that big of a storm hitting, and it just flattened it. I never saw anything like it, and I looked out that window and I just screamed. And I'm not a panicker. I looked out the window and I just screamed. And I ran out the door, and it was still pouring down rain, and there was a couple ponies running around outside, and so my son came out too, and we just started trying to catch them, and I called a couple people. And
were some actually running loose? Or
yeah, some.
If we just go over numbers real quick, how many were in there, including horses and ponies combined?
In the one barn there was 6, and that's the barn that actually went down. The other barn, it kind of split it in half, and there was 4 in that barn. And so the barn that was split in half, it took off the front of their stalls, so they all just walked out of took the roof off too, but they...
Okay, after it took the roof off, what did you do next?
Well, we ran out. I looked out the window and saw that the barn was collapsed, and I ran out the door, and it was still pouring down rain and storming, but you know, you can't leave them out there like that. And you could hear a lot of them whinnying and crying, in a lot of trouble. There's a distinct sound that a horse makes when they're in trouble or they need help or something, and I heard a lot of that, and it was coming from the big barn where the 6 were in. And it's just, if you're an animal lover, it's a horrible, hard thing to hear. And so I made 2 phone calls, one to my brother, one to 911, and then my son called one of the neighbors, and within, it seemed like minutes, an army just ascended on us.
Elaborate on that a little bit. The fire department here has been amazing.
Oh my gosh.
You know, that structure is really unsafe. Crawling in there, I mean, they rescued a lot of horses.
Right.
Just talk about it a little bit. I mean, it's pretty incredible.
They were unbelievable. They just wouldn't quit, and I love the horses, and I didn't want any of them to just be stuck in there, but you don't want to see anyone get hurt either, and the structure was just so unstable, and I just kept telling them, you know, if somebody's going to get hurt, please just don't. And they just kept going and back in and going back in and working, and they'd make themselves a little tunnel, and then they'd make the tunnel a little bigger, and they'd get down on their hands and knees, and they crawled through the mud and the pouring down rain and everything, and oh, I see one over here, I see one down on the ground. And so they'd just start cutting and digging and doing anything they could. Oh my gosh, it was unbelievable. And there was a neighbor, Amy, and her brother that were just amazing, and I just kept telling them not to go in. Amy just kept sneaking in through the back of the barn had busted open as well, and she just kept sneaking in. She made herself a little tunnel, and she saved several of them herself. And but the fire department, all the people that showed up to help, it was just, I've never seen anything like it. I didn't even know that many people would. Me too. Me too.
What are your plans? Are you going to rebuild?
Well, I would like to, but at the moment I'm just at a loss. I've never been through anything like this before. We've had so many storms. This barn has stood over 100 years. And so I don't know how I'm going to be able to do it.
I'm going to try to get people to come together to help you. Do you have a website or anything anyone can go to?
I don't. We don't have internet, It's been a big struggle. Haven't been working, and so it's been very hard.
Can I have your phone number? Do you have a cell phone number?
Yeah. It's 815-953-8808. And all of my hay and grain is in the bottom of that pile of rubble, and so I do have some that we put out in the pasture, and of course they've got grass to keep them for a couple days.
The most important thing is that you're okay, your family's okay.
Of course, absolutely.
I understand that one horse did not survive, but
Right.
out of the one, how many were in there?
There was 10.
10. So 9 made it out of 10. That's
Right,
incredible.
absolutely. It is
Looking
incredible.
at that building,
I didn't think that there was that many alive when I first came out of the bar, or out of the house and heard the cries. I thought that we were gonna, if they weren't dead, that we were probably gonna have to put them down, because how could they have survived that? I mean, these things were down, smashed on the ground with big structure on top of them, and I mean the biggest pile of rubble there. One of them came out of it. The fire department got her out with, I don't even think she has a scratch on her. I don't know how they did that or how she survived that. It's just a miracle.
Is there like a neighboring barn or somewhere in the area that would be able to take in the displaced horses now? Or how
I have a couple of them that are injured that I'm going to take to a friend's house, and then.
Is there anything the public can do to help you? If you talk to the public, because a lot of people are going to see this, and I'm willing to get this footage out to try to help you.
I don't even
Are
know.
you looking for people to adopt temporary homes?
No. Nothing like that. At the moment I have figured out where most of them are going. Some of them are in the pasture, and I don't know what I'm going to do from there. I don't know.
Like I said, most important, your house is intact.
Right.
This can be fixed.
Right.
It's not that bad.
Well, that can't be fixed, but
It's not that bad. Everyone's did an amazing job. You're doing amazing. You're a great lady. We'll give you a hug.
we've been through Smith.
Say spell your first last name one more time.
Elena Smith, ALANNA Smith, SMITH.
Okay, Elena, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
Chief, say you spell your first last name for me.
it's Scott, Scott, O'Brien, OBRIEN,
And you're the chief of the Manteno
Community Fire Protection District.
Okay, Chief, give me an idea where we're at, and just incredible rescue effort by your firefighters. A lot of mutual aid came to help you guys out.
It was an awesome event. We got on scene a little after 8 o'clock. Weather was still pretty inclement. You can see a debris trail coming in, debris about a quarter mile out in the field. Barn was down. We made sure that the occupants were okay. We asked the Smiths for accountability. Everybody was safe. At that point in time, then she said, the horses are trapped. We tried to get accountability on the horses. Once we identified where they were, it was a matter of tunneling. We've got the Mavis 7 technical rescue team as well as the Bourbonnais cart team. Both of them did an excellent job along with the Manteno firefighters. All of the mutual aid and auto aid that helped us today was excellent. They did a great job. But working with the public.
Is this the first rescue of its kind in this area? With this many animals trapped?
I'm not aware of one. I can't say it's the first one, but it definitely doesn't happen very often. We're approximately about 1,500 west, so we're about a mile and a half from Route 45 and approximately near 12,000 north, just south of the Will County border.
And real quickly, if you could elaborate on the other calls you had in your fire district related to this. You think this was a tornado or a microburst? Or?
It definitely, with the debris trail, actually there were power lines down. It appears that something was going the direction from northwest down to southeast.
What kind of damage do you have?
We saw additional power lines about a mile away. We also had 4 poles down on 45 at approximately just south of 11,000.
Okay, no injuries related to any of the other
Correct.
damage?
Yeah, and there was no threats at that time either. We also had an elevator rescue while the power went out at one of our local motels. So.
How many personnel do you think you had out here for this rescue?
I don't know. I have to look at the accountability charts to really know that. But we were very fortunate with all the events going on in the county. We actually got a lot of help. We're greatly appreciative of that.
Is there anything else you want to say at all?
No, I just hope it's an uneventful night.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, just say and spell your first last name for me one more time.
It's Scott O'Brien, SCOTT_OBRIEN.
Chief, thank you so much. You guys did an
Todd,
incredible
thanks.
job. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.